+1. Thought I was going to be late. So, yeah, that is better than I thought it would. Better than I thought it was. Let's just get this sorted. Might try some bits and pieces this stream using the controls I have on the didn't mean to do that. That's the one I want. Using the come on. For some reason my laptop's being very slow today. Oh, because it was updating something. Should get this all set up before. Right, so hello. I'm stressed. I'm not very happy. Things will continue the way they are for the moment. Life goes on. Right, so I need to turn this like that so that the window is not in shot, because apparently that's been making me look so you can't actually see me. So hopefully that's better. So going to finish off some bits from yesterday. When people turn up, if people turn up, we shall I'll show some bits and pieces that we're getting in. I need to do a short thing on Instagram. And just see what my brain is not with it. So I'm expecting to be talking to myself most of the day. can never remember my websites. Sometimes think I try and do more things than I can. Hello. It was a I've just done a reel thing on Instagram for Fountain Pen Day. Oh, I'm not feeling up to it today really, but I've got to do it. I am rushed off my feet with a lot of things, and my mental capability of doing things is failing. So if I randomly burst into tears, you know why. Who have we got today? We've got Levi and we have you. So, a couple of things. Going to finish off doing these caps, which are going to be these. I'm not sure if you saw the cap pens that we made. There. So there's a finished one. Well, not finished, but ready for sanding. And we've got this ready for sanding, which is the colour change one. I'm really happy with that, the way that one's turned out actually. And then we've just got the caps to do for these ones, and then it'll be on to finishing off the shaping of these end bits, and then we're going to be making the 2 caps. Probably said that already. Like I said, my brain's not working. Hello. Yeah, so I can try and do some stuff. I don't know where I'm at the moment. Nothing's working inside my brain. Just need to deal with it, as I always do. I hate my brain, I hate my brain. Let's all sing the I hate my brain song. I should eat something. I've just taken some medicine. And nuts. I've got a mouthful, so I'm not going to talk now. Is the little camera better? As in, am I just a silhouette like usual, or is it showing up better? Right. Let's get this started. Hooray! So, as yesterday, doing the steps down to the dimension of the barrel, which should be about 15. 15.09. So that then when this fits together, it's flush. So I've set a 0 point near the chuck. So on my measuring thingy, I know when to do that. So I know that all of my spaces where I'm going in a bit further, and I'm going that way, for all 3 caps that I'm doing, are the same. So in theory, because those steps are the same, when I smooth out the steps, the slope should be the same across all 3 pens. But that's what geography tells you anyway. What did I do? Oh, there it is. So that's why I used to do all this by eye. Now, to be fair, I was okay at it. It's a lot easier with the measuring equipment. Just makes it a little bit more repeatable. I still do a lot of my work by eye anyway, so yeah. I mean, most of you have seen me do the carving of the sections, and I aim for them to be about 10 mil. That's 10.2. So I don't think anyone's going to quibble over 0.2 of the mil. Look at this one. Now that's 0.28. And that's 9.98. So now I have had someone approach me and ask for a pen that was, they supplied drawings and all of the measurements were two decimal places and the measurements were in millimeters. I did not appreciate that because I didn't have any well, I only had very basic measuring equipment at that point. I didn't have the digital readout, so it was very difficult. I managed it, but it was difficult. My pet hate is getting stuff flinging around on the bloody chuck, and I can call it a bloody chuck because it's probably still got blood on it. So technically I'm not swearing, I'm stating fact. I don't intend to. It hurt. Right, it's going to annoy the fuck out of me. Oop. I said a rude word. It is. So there you go, so is the word I just said. I hate being censored for swear words. Really hate it. It is my pet hate. If there's anything in the world that I would change that's minor, that I had the power to change, obviously, apart from big ones, it would be stop censoring me for what I say. Just change the terms and conditions on bloody Twitch and YouTube. If I want to drop an F-bomb, I want to be able to drop an F-bomb. Yeah, bloody is an EastEnders swear word. When EastEnders is trying a big gritty, they drop a bloody every now and then. England used to have some really weird swear words. Yeah, when the real East End of London is trying to be gritty, they drop a bloody. Uh, that much, I reckon. Google. Right, so that's another one. Let's check those threads work. Fine, still. Yep. Hello, Jim. How are you doing, buddy? I found out something funny about my boss with the word buddy. Why is it saying I've got no Wi-Fi? Right, I'm going to turn this thing on then. Mr. Hines is in the States. Canal Fire. You're in Scotland, aren't you? I know the Scots have some great swear words. Right. Sorry, bear with me one. That's a word I use a lot. I'm just thinking that word about one of my colleagues at the moment. Oh, what am I doing? I'm gonna show you my youngest daughter's favourite song. I can't play it because of copyright nonsense, but I'll show you what it is on the screen if it will actually show. And no, it doesn't show. So I didn't mean to zero it there. I need to zero it up here. Okay, as usual, I've got people contacting me from work when I'm not working, asking for help. So that's why I had to duck off for a little bit there. Me, um, so I do security testing on doors and windows. So what that effectively means is someone will supply us with a door or a window, and my company has to try and break into it as though they were a burglar. What is that? Is there are they censoring the swear words in the chat? Ah, okay. Is that one to recommend to my 6-year-old daughter? She came up with a cracking thing the other day. So, when I was a kid, I used to watch, probably when I was about her age, I used to watch James Bond and stuff like that, and so the other day, I'm not sure if I should say this. The other day, I put James Bond on, and she came out with, "Oh, Daddy, I like the murdery bits." Yeah, yeah. The funny thing is, she's the out of the two of them, she's the pink girly one. It was just funny as hell to hear her come out with that. I suppose I should measure the barrel, shouldn't I? Oh yeah, 15 on the nose, pretty much. It would actually be interesting to see whether I could still do a pen with little to no measuring, because I do seem to rely on this digital readout quite a lot now. So each of these steps is 0.4 of a mil. 16.78 at the moment. Got to go down to 15. Yeah, maybe. Also, I've got to make another prototype of a tiny, tiny pen. I've had an ongoing discussion with someone via email about a pen they want made. They want it. They want it to be a similar size to a Pelican, with a full-size converter, similar width, and with metal on it. And I don't know whether the 200 or the one above it, one of those two, the small one, that sort of size. So I have a Pelican, a 200, is it 400 or 200 I've got a gold nib, I know that. It might be 400 that I've got. But yeah, so size difference. Do I get to say tumbleweed to you? Right. Can't remember which one I've got. I really can't. Let's go on to Colt pens. And let's have a look at the Pelicans. Pelicans. So many bleeding clicks to the right page. I hate that. My pet hate. M400. That was easy. It's the first pen on the bloody page. Okay, so there is a slight lip there, which isn't on the other ones. It's more pronounced, so I would just file that down a little bit. It is no problem. But first, we need to cut this down a little bit. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. There's the end of the pen, and we should cut it down about there. I've always been of the thought that any website you should be about maybe 2 or 3 clicks to the bit that you want. Maybe that's just high expectations, but I try to work on that premise on my own site. I try to get my stuff at Pure Pens anyway, but sometimes Pure Pens don't have, or they don't stock the stuff that I want. Where is that gone? Yeah. Also, Cult Pens is owned by W.H. Smith. So there's that bit done. Yeah, I speak to him whenever I see him at a pen show. We drive, whenever we come to a pen show, we drive past their office. You can see it whilst we drive past. As they are in the same area of the world as I am. Or similar. A couple of hours down the road. Which is nothing to someone from America. Because in America, everywhere is a couple of hours down the road. I've got a couple of Americans in chat which can dispute that fact if they want. Yeah, you can probably fit the whole of Wales into the smallest state in America. Wouldn't be surprised. Just click my little finger on the chuck. Ow! Yeah, Texas is huge. Let's see, how long do we reckon it'll take to drive from one side of Texas to the other? So between Louisiana and New Mexico, it takes, with normal traffic, it will take 12 hours non-stop, or with food and fuel, 14 hours. Driving across North Texas takes 8 hours and 30 minutes. It's ridiculous. It really is. That's why I think I'll have to learn to drive before myself and Annika do any of the American pen shows. The ones we want to do are DC, San Francisco, and Texas, or Dallas. I would like to do Arkansas as well to meet up with Newton. But I'm not sure whether cost-wise it would be viable. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because we'd be coming from the UK. We would have to combine it with something else. We couldn't just go for Arkansas. But like I said, I would like to do it. Well, that would be the idea anyway. We would treat it as a holiday with the odd stop off to a pen show. But travelling over and doing multiple pen shows, because America's very spread out. Yeah, maybe. Although, to be honest, we've been watching The Wire recently, so I'm not sure my wife is too enthusiastic about visiting Baltimore. Yeah, we watched The Sopranos and we're watching The Wire. So Baltimore and New Jersey are way out. Sorry for all the squeaking. Well, tell it now. I know there was which Penn show was it where there was a porn convention in the same what's it called, convention hall. That did make me chuckle when I heard about that. Right. I knocked something off there. I can't find it. What was it? Tripping over things. Story time with Jim Hines. So I just had to give you an introduction there, mate. I need to mark this one. Modern Straits. Oh God. I would just be in stitches if I saw that. Sorry. Now, I grew up around sort of in and around the London area, so I've seen some interesting things. I'll put it that way. So yeah, where I grew up was a commuter town for London. Well, is a commuter town for London. So pretty much anything going to and from London came through us at some point. Right, so there they are. And caps should all be similar size, which they are. Barrels are slightly longer on these two than they are on that one. And then we've got this one. The barrel is, sorry, the cap is only slightly longer. Yeah, you too. I'm going to need that. So just catching up on going on a certain Discord. Still nothing come through. Ah, well. No, I just well, I explained that my depression is flaring up again, so I'm not in the best of moods. There's just some bits and pieces on what discounts that people were doing for today. There's just chatter in some of the other rooms, questionable orders and things like that. So nothing out of the ordinary, usual stuff. So Jim, I've been meaning to ask you actually. I meant to ask you yesterday. Have any of my methods of pen making surprised you in any way? This is 4-jaw. What's that? Is that a typo? Scroll not indicated. What? I'm confused. Scrolling. I don't know what you mean. Oh, yeah. Yeah, self-centering is what I would call this. Get rid of that one for now. I use files for everything. I learned very, very quickly, because I don't know if you've seen the death machine that I used to use. It was a very old lathe, and all of the gearing, all of it, was exposed. So there was no covering over any of the gearing. So you just had these spinning wheels all over the place, and the belts and everything, and it was just a nightmare, because if you went anywhere near it, it would catch you, drag an appendage in and just crush it. So I called it the death machine. And there was a lever on it which you used to adjust the tension on the belts, so you got more torque. So if you wanted to turn something, because it didn't go very fast, if you were trying to get through sort of a decent, if you're doing threading or not, you had to pull the lever with one hand, and then manually push the lever on the, because it had one of these. Had one of these on the tailstock. It didn't have the wheel, so you had to, when you were threading, you had to pull the lever to get the torque, and then pull that lever to insert the tap. And yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare. And I learned very early on, when using that lathe, that if I tried to turn something thin, it would shatter, because it didn't go very fast. And so, and the tools that my boss used at the time were very old, and they were blunt, but it was all I had. And so I had so many things shatter on me, it was ridiculous. So I worked out that using files was the best way to get a thin wall on something without risk of shattering it, because it only scraped off a little bit at a time. And I worked out, with the top speed of that lathe going, how much a single draw of the file, so from one end to the other, so from there to there, I worked out that on that lathe it shaved off 0.0, it was 0.2 of a millimeter. And so it got to a point where I was just going 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 1 mil. Sorry, 5, 1 mil, and doing it that way. So yeah, I learned on something like that, and then I moved up to this. And yeah, this was a godsend for me, because it sped everything up, even though I had a really tiny workshop, which this lathe took up half the space in my old workshop. What we're looking for? These. I'm not sure. I don't think so. Remind me later on today when I've finished here, and I will show you a picture of the death machine because I've still got some. I wonder if I've got some on my phone, because I might be able to connect my phone up to the laptop and then dump a picture over there that way. Gallery. Right, back to the beginning. See if we've got any pictures of the death machine. Probably not. This is not going to be exciting viewing for the next couple of minutes. Okay, so looking at those, we're still in the old house. Child is very young. Some old photos, pins. Oh no, because that's no. The most recent one there is when I did my first blanks, and I made this. So this was the first blank that I ever poured. Which I'm still quite proud of. I really like that blank. That's why I've kept it. The pen does not. I don't think the pen works at all. It's not got a section in it for one. I think the threads are. Oh no, it has. That's the back end. And I think this material goes soft when it gets warm. Yeah, that colour mix, all it is where have I put them? Still out. Have I been lazy? Most likely. What's that? Orange. Pardon me. Oh crap, I've got dye all over my hands again. Right, so all it is yeah, it's epoxy. And I got the mix wrong. And it was curing in a cold environment. Because I didn't have any heating in the workshop at that time. So it's just the Alumilite dyes, and it's the red, the yellow, and the black, which have all got what's it called? Micro pearl in it. Yeah, micro pearl. I have made it again since, but I haven't been able to get it exactly like that, which is annoying. Yeah, I know, which is why I've got a stack of epoxy blanks over there. And I've noted that they're epoxy blanks, and all I use them for making prototypes, or I use them for making counters for my role playing on Thursdays, but they don't get used for pens anymore. Do you know what? I've only ever sold pens once. Sorry, sold pens once. No, only ever sold pen blanks once. It's just not something that I want to get into. That side of things is, I'll leave that to the people that that want to do that side of things, if that makes sense. I don't want people coming back to me and saying, "Oh, your Pendlinks are shit." I could deal without that, to be honest. Well, there's loads of bubbles in your pen blanks. I did some for. I mean, I do favours for people. Like if someone wants, if another pen maker sees a blank of mine that they like, I don't mind doing them a one-off favour. I did a favour. I did some for Newton, ages ago. But that's the only time I've really done it. I know there's a couple of pen makers in the UK know that if they want pen blanks of certain colours, they can just come to me and I'll do it for them. So no skin off my nose, but I'm not going to do it as wide release type deal because that's just too much like hard work. And I'm allergic to the stuff, so the less I have to use it, the better. To be honest, if a pen maker doesn't know how to deal with your bubble in a blank, then what are they doing? Not to be harsh or anything. I mean, it's sort of comes with the territory, really. If you're mixing two things together and putting them in a pressure pot, occasionally, not very often, but occasionally, you'll find the odd bubble of, especially if you're mixing by hand, the odd bubble of unmixed dye or mica. That's what from my experience, that's what it is. You'll just get a and if it's my own blanks, I don't care. Because I can just make the mix again. There are too many. Right. So this is going to go pink. Oops. Plus, I like to use blanks with weird properties like colour changing, or the ones that I really like are the ones that change colour under UV. So you take them out in the sun and they just change colour. Not many people use them. What is it? It's 2 now. Hopefully should get these sanded. It's going to be a little bit of shaping to do on the Bast pens, but that will be okay. I've got one material. I got a limited edition powder from one of the suppliers that I use, and it changes under UV and it glows in the dark. So it goes from a bright blue to a purple, and it glows a sort of bluish colour. I have got there's a couple of glow in the dark powders that I use which do create enough light to see pages by. If they're fully charged, it's ridiculous. They glow. You can notice most of the time with glow in the dark things, if you charge them up, you don't notice them glowing under normal light. So in the middle of daylight, but these ones do. It's ridiculous. Love it. Ooh, that's a good idea. Instead of doing the pen with a ink window, just do a strip of glow in the dark. That'd be kind of cool. Right, so I'm not precious about sharing suppliers and stuff with other makers. So there's an artist called Stuart Semple that does these. So these are all insanely bright. So he's done the pinkest pink. So these are just normal neon colours. Doesn't show up very well on the camera, but you can see how bright that is. There's the yellow, which again is insanely bright. There's the blue, which is very bright, but it's more of a pastel blue. And there's a green, which was I think that's a limited one, but yeah, that is really bright. So those are the ones that don't have any properties to them. Then I've got the two. Oh, there's the blackest black as well. This is that one, which is a very, very dark matte black. Then we've got the standard glow in the dark ones. These are the ones that glow insanely bright. So that one glows blue. That one glows pink. What I'll do is I'll put these in the sunlight now and then I'll bring them out later. You can see what they look like. They are in the sunlight, and then this one is what they called Untitled. This is the limited one. So this one is the one that changes colour under UV and glows in the dark. So blue, I'll go chuck it in the sunlight for a couple of seconds. I'll be back in a minute. So it's gone. Oh, you can't see it. It's gotten purple. I wonder if I move it, can you see the different colour? And so that's darker than the bit that I've just taken off the top. But yeah, to me, that's the darker bit is very purple, and the blue bit is obviously blue. But that also glows in the dark. So I'll pop that with the other one. But yeah, those are very cool. The artist, like I said, is Stuart Semple. Culture Hustle is his website. But yeah, they're a bit of a pain in the ass to mix into the resins because they're just pigments. They're not. They're just a bit of a. They're meant for making paint, but they work. I'll see if I've got a blank that's made out of them. So that blue there is that resin I've just showed you that changes colour. So once I've gone this level of sanding, I'll put that blank in the window for a little bit, and I'll bring it back, and you'll see better. Like I said, I'm not precious about, because I don't sell the blanks, more than happy to share where I get the materials from. I'm a big sort of advocate of knowledge should be free. There should be no gatekeeping for different things like that. And I'm the first person to admit that I'm not the best blank maker in the world. And so if other people can make far better blanks, fair enough, yeah. My viewpoint is not shared by many people, let me put it that way. Because I don't, like I said, I don't sell the blanks, so more than happy for other people to make better blanks than I could, that then I can buy. There's the one thing I do like doing is making pens, because I make weird designs. like this one. Oh yeah, I know, and I know all of you. I'm more than happy to pass on knowledge as well. In fact, Newton was the one that helped me learn to make pens. So if ever I had questions, I would go to him, and he would say, "Why are you doing that? Why are you doing it that way, you idiot?" They occasionally come out of limited things, like that one that I showed you. They're always fun. He's done a bright orange one as well, but I haven't got. Yeah, Newton is a bit of a legend in my book. And I like winding Brooks up. Every so often I'll send him a message saying, I figured out how to do a PM1. There was one funny one. It was me and Brooks share a birthday. And so we will generally swap. Yeah, Renee. I speak to her quite often as well. She's helped me with metalwork and stuff in the past. In fact, I've ordered a pen from her recently. What was I saying? I can't remember now. Right, that should be enough time for that blank 10 colour anyway. So there you go. So you can see that's much darker. It will slowly return to the way it was. But in here you'll see there's unmixed bits of powder. There's a big bit just there. Right. So that's that. Almost ready for polishing. These go really bright when you polish them because of the heat. In fact, I might polish this one quickly now, just so you can see it at its full brightness. Back in a second. It's not gone as bright as I thought it would, but so there's the two halves. I'll put them next to each other like that. You can see the colour difference a bit better. What's cool is that that's the heat that changes colour is once you hold it in your hand for a bit as you're writing, it'll change colour from your body heat. Right, so let's start with the one blank that I made. Sand it to begin with, and then we'll sort it at the end. Still no orders. Oh well. So I'm just doing that to take off the sharp edges on the, basically those sharp edges. Just don't want people to accidentally stab themselves with a pen. I already make one that does that. Don't want to have two models that do the same thing. Right. Try and sort this bit out now. Oh, okay. Need to turn this light off. That one. No. That one. No, that's the leg. That one. So this one doesn't glow as much as these two, but you can see the... Yeah, exactly. And you know how long they are in the sun. Not very long at all. So yeah, when I make glow-in-the-dark pens, I really go for it. Right, gonna have to ask a favour. I am busting for the loo. Do you mind if I try something and put a 60-second ad on whilst I put the Be Right Back sign up? or I can just put the Be Right Back sign up and pop off for a little bit. I've just not tried the 60-second ad thing. Okay, cool. Right, I'm going to put this up, and then I'm going to press a button on the other screen over here and see what happens whilst I pop off to the toilet. I'm back. I've lost a viewer. Obviously didn't like ads. Right, where was the... I'm looking for that. Where are they? What was the ad? I've got no idea. And you know it's serious when I'm getting these files out. Fair enough. Where's my scraper thing? What is your day job? Just put a load of scratches on the outside of that. Booger. This. No, okay, fair enough. I've noticed that a lot of pen makers seem to be in IT. Well, in the UK they are anyway. Good point. But what is real these days? There's a philosophical question for you on a Friday afternoon or Friday morning, depending on your time zone. So you're Texas, so you will be. You're too far. Well, I think Texas has got multiple time zones, isn't it? Is it Texas has got 3 time zones on it? Can't remember. Is it all central, is it? Okay. Right, this is the most tedious part of doing this pen design. It's like flossing teeth. Yeah, because you've got, what was it? Can't remember the eastern. Your eastern, central, mountain, and is it just called western? I don't know the time zones in the States. I used to. So I used to do lots of gaming with friends over there. So I used to have to know a lot of the time zones. Pacific. Yeah, that's the one. Right, so that's. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sand the in between of the cat ears up to 1500, just because this is the bit that takes the longest. It's all about shaping them the right, getting the curve right. So you don't want them too pointy, you don't want them too sharp on the edges. They've got to be smooth edges, look a little bit organic. This is why I charge what I charge for this pen design. It's not cheap. Yeah. Is it the guy from Iron Feather that went on to that competition program with the blacksmiths? Yeah. That's the one. I do like his pens as well. They are certainly on the list. I have a very small list these days. Mainly because I've got two coming from pen makers that were on my initial list that I've had since I started making pens. The whole reason I started making pens was because I saw how much custom pens were to buy, and I needed to. I'm not from a very well-off family. I needed to work out a way to fund my pen habit, which is making pens. So the business plan was make pens to buy pens. And I've just put some marks. I'm going to have to go back to the start. Yeah, I'd love to get some of his. I also want to get an Atelier Lusso at some point. Yeah, I've got all my. I hate the term Grail pen, because to me, it implies that you've had to go on a quest to get the pen, like the Holy Grail. But yeah, it's. It's just. I call them my lust pens. I've got a pen that's. So I met a guy. I think it was not the last the London pen show, but the pen show before, who was just getting into doing pens, and I didn't know at the time, but he was getting into doing Urushi work, and I had one of my new models with me at this pen show, and he came as a vendor for the first time, and we got talking in the bar afterwards, and he didn't know whether doing Urushi on a Alumilite pen would work or how it would behave, because obviously he's just started doing it. And so I suggested that he take my prototype one that I had, well, not a prototype, but my one that I had with me, back with him. Actually, I've got to check in with him because it's near France that he lives. It's not the Isle of Wight. But I gave him this pen just to play around with and just see if it works or not, see what he can do. And yeah, he's been sending me updates on how it's going and what it looks like and stuff like that. So I might be getting my first Urushi pen at some point. It's kind of cool. the plan is, if anyone asks me if I do a Rushi work, again, that's not something that I'm interested in doing. I could just point them in his direction because he's sort of this side of the pond. So if I have an American customer that wants it, I'll send them to one of the guys over there. If I've got an English customer, I can send them to this guy over here. No skin off my nose. It's not something I'm interested in doing, so I'm not hurting myself by doing that. It just means I can offer people another service. Is that blood? Have I cut myself? No. Ah, I know what that is. That's the dye from the Illumilite. If I need engraving, I send them to Ruth Bolton in the UK, who's just had a Fig Boot review. Although if people want really intricate metalwork, I send them to Hardy. I'm like, I can't do that, but I know a man who can. Well, there's Silver Burl in the UK as well. I think it's Silver Burl. Right, so that is now ready for polishing. I won't be able to get the polish fully in there, but I have a cheating way of doing that. So I'll do what I can, and then I'll cheat. Why is I've got a massive scratch right there and there? Pain in the backside. I was hoping to get at least one pen done today. I'm not too worried about the insides here. Like I said, I can cheat on those. 1 second. Hello. Sorry about that. That was work phoning again. That is the problem with having a job where you know what you're doing. I'm probably one of the highest rated burglars in England or in Europe. There's not many people that do my job. Which means that if I lose it at any point, pretty screwed. There's nowhere around here that does it. Right, that's better. Wait for it to dry a bit so I can see the scratches. No, it's done. All good. Yeah, I mean, it does. I have had friends ask me to break into their houses before now because they've left their keys inside or something. That's always funny. It's like, I'm stuck. Can you help? Right, so check something. There might be another place I can recommend you for pigments. I always forget to take it off. Gone now. Right, if you go to SF, in fact, I'll pop the link in the chat. SF xc.co.uk. There's another website for funky stuff to put in blanks. So their holographic glitter is very good. That's what I've got in this one. And they have a really bright red pigment. Again, it's mixes similar to the other stuff, so you've got to really work it in there, but it's worth it in the end, I reckon. This this purple that goes to pink is from that place. They do a green as well that goes yellow, which is really good. Now that holographic glitter is just small enough so that if any does flake out when you're sanding it, it doesn't leave a noticeable hole. So you always find, well, I always find that when I use the acrylics that have got loads of glitter in, they always feel a bit textured. See if I've got one. I know I've got an off-color one. This stuff. It's got loads of glitter in it. But when you sand it, then sorry, bear with me a second. Snap is all I can say to that. So that's the dark one, so that's the 6, so that's the 8. I'm starting to get hungry. I need some food today. I think I might have some peanuts. Oh yeah. If you're worried about peanut allergies, these pens all go through lots and lots of washes before they see a customer. Hello back, I'm Dennis. I am a dad, I'm allowed to make dad jokes. I've had the training. I've just got a tiny little sonic cleaner that I put, what's it called? It's called sensitive metal cleaning fluid, which is for cleaning jewellery. And you just put a cap of that in with the fill of water. Does the job. Just what I find is that it helps clean the threads out more than anything. And the barrels, if they're a bit dusty. and obviously any surface crap. Right, so I'm going to screw this onto the barrel to make sure that I've not sanded it to a point where it is no longer flush, because that would be a pain in the ass. There you go, you can better see the change there. That is still flush. Check on the other starts. Yep. Yep. So on all three starts on that threads, that's pretty much flush. That red pigment I showed you, I think, is this one here. So it's a very opaque, bright red. Yeah, it really is. That's why I bought that much of it. Yeah, I mean, I just think that is a lovely colour. It's so bright and it's so... Yeah, I mean, I reckon if I mix... I might have a go, actually. I might try and mix that with some Micropearl and see what happens. Because I've not mixed those pigments with Micropearl yet. See if I can mimic a sort of mica look. Right, so these caps are a pain in the backside to sand because of that. This drilled out bit. Because you can never quite get down to the bottom of the drilled out bit. So we'll give it a go. I'm sure there's ways around it. I'll improvise if I can't find a way. Yeah, I do. Sanding the flats. Oh, I should have done that first, shouldn't I? I'm a donkey. Donkey, donkey, donkey. Donkey, donkey, donkey. You can tell I'm sort of losing it on a Friday afternoon when I start singing Donkey, Donkey, Donkey. What I normally do, this just goes to show my improvisation. To get one of these, you probably saw me do this before with the other sandpaper. Wrap the little bugger up in sandpaper. And just do that. I was going to have some nuts, wasn't I? Forgot about that. Do this bit and grab a mouthful, so you don't have to put up with my singing about donkeys. What I might do, because I'm not going to be mixing any colours together, so it's not too much of an issue, because I can mix them and then just put them straight away, is I might just mix up some blanks of just plain colours. So that red one, see if I can make that shimmery with the micropearl. We'll do similar with the greens and the other ones that I've got from that supply. Oh, actually, do you reckon if I had the micropearl, if I have the micropearl to the glow in the dark stuff, it'd be glow in the dark and shimmery? I wonder. I've got a little bit of resin left. Might give that a go. Yeah, I know. It should work. Whether it does. Because then I'd get a blank like that one that I showed you, which changed colour. But it'd be all funky and shimmery. I nearly swore then. It's got me thinking now. And that's always a dangerous prospect. I don't want me to be thinking. I might give that a go. So I've finished this about 4-ish. Mix some blanks. All the stuff's over there ready, all messy and everything. I won't need the mixing pots that I normally use that need cleaning, so I get why we're not doing that. Just do some single pours. How many colours I got? So I've got the red. Have I got that green still? I've got really nice green as well. It's like a very sort of what I would call a classic green. Chromium green oxide pigment. So that one, so see if I can get some out on a bit of paper or something. Watch me get this everywhere. You can't really see the colour. Oh, yeah, you can a little bit. It's a nice sort of it's almost this green but a bit darker. This is the one you'll probably like, is the colour shift stuff. So this is sort of purple. Yeah, you can't really see it under the light, it's bleaching out too much. Oh well. I might do another order from them. Oh, and I have some insanely. I've got some big glitter from them as well. This stuff doesn't get used very often because it is just a little bit too big. That's the green that goes yellow. That's the purple that we've used there. That orange goes yellow. That red, I think this red goes sort of whitish. And that purple goes blue. I've used it before, it's not too bad. It doesn't chip out as much as you'd expect it to, let me put it that way. So I think it's quite soft. I have got one blank that I'm saving for doing a sort of a special one-off pen. So what I want to do with it is make one of my Betaless models with all the different facets, and I want it to be fitted with a gold nib as a standard thing, just as a one-off. That's that one. So I'm going to obviously make the section, make the pen, polish it inside and out, do the facets in it, and then fit it with a gold nib to match the gold leaf inside it. That's going to be my one-off one that I do. But it's awesome. I've got an idea for another pen that I want to do as well, but I need to get my metalwork up to scratch before I do it, and I might need to get a what's it called, a milling machine, because I need to make a line going down. I need to cut a line in the material going down the end of going down the barrel of a pen. I think when I made that, when I've got to the ability of making that, I'll be happy with myself, because I've had that idea bubbling around in my brain for a while, and it's just one that I really want to do. But it's having the confidence to do it and the ability to back up the idea, because I don't want it to look shit. I am my own worst critic. Alright, have a good one. Who's remaining in the chat? I wonder who is that? Oh, lots of people viewing. Right, let's see whether I got that up. A little bit. So we're just gonna let's move that off a bit. leather. So this is just a cheating method of basically making flush pens that you've accidentally sanded so they're not flush. Flush again. And once more, that is flush. So we sanded in there, so there's no more drill marks in there. We sanded between the cat ears, so there's no file marks in there. That's all ready for polishing. It goes in the box over there. And now we can move on to the sections. Sections are the quickest bit to sand, because you rarely have to stop the lathe. Sections are without a doubt the easiest thing to finish off. There we go. That one ready for polishing. Just double check, make sure there's no scratches that are in the wrong way. Right, that is ready for polishing. So this is an example of a Roman shaped. So that one was, this one is what I call a Norse. It's quite organic shaped. This is a Roman, so it's quite like a pillar. Oh, didn't need to do that. Sorry. No, not stopping the lathe. Carry on going. Right, so that. Got some scratches up round by the lip. It's not unusual for this. Any section with a lip, you'll get this sort of problem. So. Still don't have nuts. So we've maintained that lip at the end. Got rid of most of the scratches by it, which is fine. There we go. Polish will sort out those minor ones that were left. So that is us done for the day. I'm just going to mix those blanks and they'll be ready about 10 o'clock tonight. Right, so that's it. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for watching. Thank you for chatting. Hope you have a good weekend. Take care. Bye bye. Oh, if you feel like it, you can follow. I hate saying stuff like that, but yeah, feel free. Right, take care. See you next week.